Hello there. The Labour Party anti-Semitism report is out, with the inference being that Jeremy Corbyn failed his Labour Party, but he won't accept that. Will the Labour Party now implode? Firstly, please subscribe and like this video to give my channel a boost. And I'm always uploading new content, so please do check back daily. And a big thanks to my Patreon and PayPal supporters. In a simple statement, a spokesperson for the Labour Party laid out the words today that could end up splitting the Labour Party. In light of his comments made today and his failure to retract them subsequently, the Labour Party has suspended Jeremy Corbyn pending investigation. He has also had the whip removed from the Parliamentary Labour Party. This comes after the publication of the final report from the Equality and Human Rights Commission into anti-Semitism in the Labour Party. And the investigation report is damning. It says that there had been severe failings in the Labour Party leadership, its processes and culture for dealing with anti-Semitism in the party. And it also showed specific examples of unlawful harassment and unlawful indirect discrimination. On top of that, it said there were clear examples of political interference from the party leader's office in anti-Semitism cases. There was also, it said, an inadequate process for reporting cases of anti-Semitism, inadequate training for people to investigate it, as well as a failure to implement recommendations from past reports into the problem. The report said that there was a culture that was at odds with the Labour Party's commitment to zero tolerance of anti-Semitism, as well as a clear breakdown of trust between the Labour Party, many of its members and the Jewish community. With an investigation and report like that, it gives a party leader almost nowhere to go except into full apology mode, together with firm actions to back it up. And that is the route that the newish Labour Party leader Keir Starmer is taking. In a press conference this morning, Starmer said that the investigation was comprehensive, rigorous and thoroughly professional. And also that when the commission was set up by the last Labour government to tackle discrimination, promote equality and protect human rights, it never occurred to me or anyone else that one day the Labour Party would be investigated for breaching the equality legislation that a Labour government had introduced. Worse still, that the Labour Party would be found to have committed unlawful acts under that same legislation. But that is what this report finds. And he said that the report's conclusions were both clear and stark, leaving no room for equivocation. And he apologised for the hurt this had caused, saying, "And so, on behalf of the Labour Party, I am truly sorry for all the pain and grief that has been caused to Jewish people, our Jewish members, our long-standing Jewish affiliate, Jewish Labour movement, to the people driven out of our party, the Jewish members driven out of Parliament, including Louise Ellman and Luciana Berger. And to the members of the Labour Party staff who spoke out, I want to say this. I know how hard these last few years have been for you, how painful today will be and how hard you have had to fight to have your voices heard. So let me be clear, I hear you, and I can promise you this, I will act. Never again will Labour let you down. Never again will we fail to tackle anti-Semitism, and never again will we lose your trust." And he said that the process starts today and that the Labour Party would work with the Equalities Commission to implement the recommendations at the earliest opportunity. And he ended by saying, "But I will only consider it a success when those members who left our party because of anti-Semitism feel safe to return, and when we no longer hear the words Labour and anti-Semitism in the same sentence. All seems pretty clear to me, but it seems that the previous Labour Party leader, Jeremy Corbyn, was not too pleased about the findings. He put a statement on Facebook saying that anti-Semitism is absolutely abhorrent, wrong and responsible for some of humanity's greatest crimes. As leader of the Labour Party, I was always determined to eliminate all forms of racism and root out the cancer of anti-Semitism. I have campaigned in support of Jewish people and communities my entire life, and I will continue to do so. And he also said, one anti-Semite is one too many. But the scale of the problem was also dramatically overstated for political reasons by our opponents inside and outside the party, as well as by much of the media. And Corbyn also tweeted, I will strongly contest the political intervention to suspend me. I've made absolutely clear those who deny there has been an anti-Semitism problem in the Labour Party are wrong. I will continue to support a zero-tolerance policy towards all forms of racism. But Corbyn still found himself suspended from his party. And this has caused a lot of anger in the Labour Party, with a few trending hashtags such as I stand with Corbyn, I stand with Jeremy Corbyn, and Starmer out. Anti-Semitism is also trending very high. The trouble for those that either back Corbyn or want to ditch Starmer at this point is that they potentially run the risk of self-identifying as anti-Semites. And the President of the Board of Deputies of British Jews, Marie van der Zyl, welcomed Corbyn's suspension, saying, having presided over the descent of a proudly anti-racist party into a party that broke equalities law in treatment of Jews, his shameless comments today showed that he remains part of the problem and is an obstruction to the resolution of the issue. And during a later press conference for the Jewish Labour movement, Labour Party veteran Dame Margaret Hodge said, the statement that Jeremy chose to put out today demonstrates that he is in permanent denial about the extent of the problem, as well as, even when the evidence is placed in front of him, he fails really to understand the importance and severity of it. It happened on his watch. He shamed the Labour Party. He sat at the centre of a party that enabled anti-Semitism to spread from the fringes to the mainstream. And she also said that, but I've got to tell you this, he is yesterday's man. He is absolutely irrelevant, and I think that for us today, what we're looking to, thank goodness, is the present and the future. Gotta say though, looking at his politics, Corbyn became yesterday's man decades ago. But he still commands a lot of support in the Labour Party and also amongst MPs, such as Rebecca Long-Bailey. But considering the contents of this report, whether that support will continue going forwards is another matter. The big questions now are how deep does this rift go and how long will it go on for? And will Corbyn end up causing lasting damage to Labour? Now, there is a new company listed at Companies House called JBC Defence Limited. And the JBC stands for Jeremy Bernard Corbyn. Oh yes. And the company had already been set up by Corbyn supporters to help collect and direct a fighting fund to pay any legal costs and damages that Corbyn or his supporters become liable for in defamation proceedings. On an associated GoFundMe webpage called Jeremy's Legal Fund, the organiser Carol Morgan writes, basically the company is authorised to use the money you so generously donated to pay Jeremy's legal costs if and when he is sued for defamation as a result of standing up for the values and beliefs to which he has devoted his life. The directors will also, in certain cases, be authorised to support people threatened with defamation suits as a result of coming to Jeremy's defence. This stems from the investigative journalist John Ware taking legal action against Corbyn after he said that it was disappointing the party had apologised to the Panorama reporter over his anti-Semitism investigation, as well as another case brought against Corbyn by pro-Israel blogger Richard Millett. Might come in handy in future. I wonder if any other politicians have got something like that set up for them. Anyway, if you want to hear more from me, please don't forget to subscribe and also press that little bell, or you won't get any notifications. And if you want to see more of me, buy a mug with my mug on it by following the link in the descriptions box below, and support me on Patreon or PayPal. So what do you think about all of this? Please share and comment, and thank you for watching.